Alright, what is up everybody? We are back with another edition of Everyday Hoops. Hope you guys are having a good one. Today we're recapping a couple game 5s of the second round. The Pacers eliminate the Cavaliers and the Thunder go up 3-2 on the Nuggets. We'll talk about both those games here in today's video. Thank you guys for the views on the videos and the shorts recently. I really appreciate it. If you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, and all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so I'll support our channel. We very much appreciate it. I'll link to my Twitter and all that stuff down in the description below. And yeah, don't waste any more of your time. Let's get right into it. So we're gonna start with OKC Denver first because that game just finished, and that's one I want to talk about more. Is more exciting. And OKC ends up getting the W 112 to 105. They take a 3-2 series lead, and this was a huge win for them. They came out hot the first couple minutes of the game. You know, they came out firing, dunking, doing all that stuff. Denver finds a rhythm in this game, and Jokic really steps up to the plate. You know, we talked about in this series, it's been a big topic that both these superstars haven't really had the craziest superstar series of Jokic and SGA, the two top MVP guys. Now, they haven't had super amazing series so far, but they both came up to bat today, especially Jokic early in this game. Jokic, Jamal Murray started hitting shots. Aaron Gordon had a really good first half, and the Thunder just looked kind of like the Thunder that we've seen the last couple games where it's just been the shooting hasn't been great. Their offense hasn't been as great as we usually see it. And Denver finding a way to stay in the game. That's what their game plan is. Stay in the game as long as possible. Then as we get to the fourth, we feel like we can do it. You know? And it was kind of a really rough looking first few minutes of the game. You know what I mean? Then we get to the fourth quarter. You know, third quarter, Jamal Murray starts to wake up a little bit. He starts hitting some big shots, and it's like, oh man, Denver kind of taking control. I think he had like a 10, 12-point lead at one point. And it's like, man, Denver's really going to do it again, huh? Like we saw in game 1 and in game 3. Get to the fourth quarter, and Lu Dort. Got to give a lot of credit to Lu Dort. Lu Dort hit 3 threes straight in the fourth quarter. And without those 3 threes, OKC does not win this game. You know, OKC just needed some sort of spark offensively that wasn't Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and it was Lu Dort. Lu Dort hit 3 consecutive threes that were just so huge. Denver, once again, has a bad fourth quarter. Jokic did everything he could. He hit that crazy step back 3 near the end of the shot clock. He was getting to the free throw line. Like, he was doing everything. No one else on Denver could really do much. Jamal Murray, I think he maybe hit 1 or 2 shots early in the quarter, but didn't do anything late. Aaron Gordon, MPJ, like, they didn't do much. And for OKC, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was in control of this game. Shai, in the fourth quarter, got a couple buckets at the rim. He had a big and1 mid-range. Had some nice passes, once again to Lu Dort, and then Jalen Williams also hit a huge 3-pointer, which was really, really big, because Jalen Williams has not had a great clutch time series so far, and for him to hit that 3-pointer was huge, and Isaiah Hartenstein as well on the defensive end was big, and yeah, the Thunder ended up getting a big win. I mean, stat-wise, they shot 50% of the field, hit 12 threes, got to the free throw line 10 more times, shot 18 for 23, won the turnover battle. And yeah, Shai finally has his playoff moment. Before this, Shai hasn't really had like a playoff moment that's like, here I am. This was it right here. 31, 6, and 7. 12 for 23. I think he had like 10, 11 points in the fourth quarter. Hit some big shots and really just had that big win. Once again, Lu Dort doing their thing. The entire starting 5 had double figures. Oscar Cruz had another really good game. Isaiah Hartenstein, I think, played very well on the defensive end. I think he's been doing a great job this series. And this was just like a huge win for OKC in terms of, like, you saw it happen in game 1 and in game 3, where the kind of the weak point for OKC was closing out games. This is the youngest team in the league, very inexperienced playoff wise. They don't have experience in these moments where last 3 minutes of a playoff game, how do we find a way to win? You know, they just don't really have that. And that really hurt them in game 1 and game 3. And that, again, Denver's game plan in this entire series, I keep saying it was, let's keep the game close. Once we get to the last 5 minutes, we have Jokic and Murray, and we feel confident that no one is going to be able to top these two guys in the clutch. And we're going to be able to win every single time. And that's what happened in game 1. That's what happened in game 3. Last 2 games, OKC is growing up. OKC is growing up before our eyes. This game especially, this game was like the game to show the world, hey, that's not us anymore. You know, we're a different team. What Shai was able to do in the fourth quarter, J-Dub hitting that big 3, Lu Dort hitting a couple of big 3-pointers, the defense that they had late in this game with Hartenstein and Holmgren, like, be able to get the big extra possessions, big rebounds, you know, closing out possessions. Like, watching those last couple minutes, I was really looking like, dang, OKC grew up. They grew up right before our eyes, man. And that was such a huge win. And that's the last two games have been like that. Where last game wasn't as pretty as this. It was a very ugly game, but they found a way to win too. So what was the detriment to them in the first couple games has come back and flipped it on its head. And now they have it now. Last two games, they've been able to do it and close out. And now they're 1 win away from getting to the conference finals. It's a huge win for them and a big, I mean, that's a huge win. In a 2-2 series, the winner of game 5 is in the driver's seat. And OKC being able to come out and pull that off, down a lot, well, not down a lot, but having a rough fourth quarter and finding a way to win, that's usually what Denver does. OKC doesn't really do that. And now they've done it, and that's big. And for the Nuggets, I mean, Jokic does everything he can. 44, 15, 5, 17 for 25. Like, Jokic did everything he possibly could. Jamal Murray didn't have a great finish to the game, but at least he gave you 28. Besides that, it was really just Jokic in the fourth quarter. No one else could really go along with him. Jamal Murray didn't hit shots late. Aaron Gordon wasn't really a factor late. Michael Porter Jr. was, I didn't even know he was on the court a lot of times, and he missed a lot of shots late in this game. He was 1 for 7, 0 for 5 from 3, 2 points. Christian Brown was really not a factor, 2 for 8 from 3. OKC was just leaving him open to shoot. The bench didn't provide anything at all. This was just a game where the Nuggets they didn't get help. The first couple games has been the others stepping up. Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, Russell Westbrook. Now, the last two games, it kind of seems they haven't really had that big, role. Who's going to step up this time? The role player that's going to make the big difference in this game. They haven't had that. And now you're back against the wall, down 3-2. And they're going to need, obviously, they're going to need someone else to step up. Aaron Gordon's going to have to lock into that clutch gene again. Jamal Murray's going to have a big playoff Jamal type of game. I thought we were going to see that in this game, but he kind of slowed down late. Michael Porter Jr. has been a nothing really on the offensive end in this series at all. And it's tough because you don't really have anything put into play. I mean, Russell Westbrook, I guess you put in his place, but even then, Russell Westbrook didn't have a great game today. 1 for 7. But at least maybe he's going to provide more energy elsewhere. MPJ is more of it. He's not hitting his shots, and he's not really providing much anywhere else. But it's just really rough, man. They just didn't have anything besides Jokic that they could rely on in this game. And that's usually not what Denver does. That's not what Denver has been doing this year. They've been winning the series because they found a way in the last few minutes to rely on something that they know OKC can't match. OKC's able to match it now. OKC's able to match it. It succeeded. So it's gonna be game 6. Obviously the season's on the line now, and they're gonna need someone else to step up and do something and help out Jokic, man, because Jokic can't do it all by himself. But credit to OKC. This was such a huge victory. And it really showed the entire world, like, hey, we're growing up now. Like, we're number one for a reason, and here's why. And that's just, man, I gotta keep reiterating, such a big win. Like, that's such a huge win to be down. Like, it's a really experienced team, a team that has beat you in this situation twice before, and they come back and be able to win with Shea having that moment was just, like, awesome to see. And the other game we'll talk about, Indiana, Cleveland. The Pacers win this game 114-105. They take the Cavs out in 5 games. They're going back to the conference finals. Cleveland had a great start to this game. The first quarter and a half, Cleveland was in control. It looked like one of those games where, where a team's up 3-1, you go to game 5, and it's just like, okay, we're going to come out and try. But once the other team starts trying a little bit harder, we're like, okay, we'll back off. We're going back home into game 6. That's what I thought was going to happen. Then a shift changed near the middle to the end of the second quarter where Cleveland stopped attacking. Cleveland wasn't shooting the ball well early, but neither were the Pacers. So Cleveland was just getting to the rim, free throws, layups, all that stuff. Something changed where Donovan Mitchell started taking shots. Everyone started shooting jump shots. And the Pacers were slowly finding their way back in. Tyrese Halliburton in that second quarter hit like 5 threes. He was huge in this one. And all of a sudden, the Pacers made a game. We get to the third quarter, and the game completely flips on its head. Cleveland can't make a shot to save their life. I think they went, 6 minutes without a field goal, and Indiana starts heating up. Miles Turner, Andrew Nembhard, Aaron Nesmith, they start heating up a little bit. Pascal Siakam. And Cleveland just looked lost in that third quarter, and that's kind of what it was. I mean, Cleveland made it a game. Ty Jerome came off the bench after not playing for the first few minutes and hitting a couple of shots. DeAndre Hunter had a big 4-point play. Donovan Mitchell tried anything in his power. Ivan Mobley was solid in this game. But besides that, it just doesn't really much going. Cleveland shoots 38% for the field, 9 for 35 from 3. They missed 11 free throws, and Donovan Mitchell missed 3 free throws in the clutch late. Indiana won the rebounding battle. They lost turnover battle. And then you have Cleveland. I mean, Jared Allen only played 29 minutes. Jared Allen did not play a lot in this game because he just wasn't really a factor. Max Strus, 0 for 9, 0 for 6 and 3 after having such a great game. Darius Garland, 4 for 16, negative 18. He had more turnovers than assists. He had more fouls than assists, and just not much going on for the Cavs besides Donovan Mitchell. And even then, Donovan Mitchell didn't have a good shooting night. He was 8 for 25 in this game as well. And for Indiana, Tyrese Halliburton, 31, 6 and 8. He had a big and one and another 3-pointer late in this fourth quarter. And he continues to shine in this postseason, man. He really is like, he's a star. He's a star. I mean, obviously the overrated thing before the playoffs start was a thing, but at this point he might damn near be underrated because he is just like he's been on another level. He's been on another level. I mean, not just what we know he can do facilitating wise and all that stuff, but his ability to take over games. He's had multiple occasions in this playoffs where he's been able to take over a game offensively and score. The closeout game against Milwaukee in Game 5, where he went nuts at the end of the fourth quarter overtime. Game 2, where he wasn't doing anything really all game, and all of a sudden he hits a couple shots and hits the game winner to win Game 2 in Cleveland. And then this game, where Indiana's having a tough one. He comes out, hits 5 threes in the quarter, and then ends it off with 31 points. I mean, he has been spectacular. And that's a big reason why Indiana's in this position now, where it's Tyrese Halliburton being an aggressive. Tyrese Halliburton makes his Pacer team dangerous. They're already a really good team, but an aggressive Tyrese Halliburton that's trying to get buckets and using his scoring ability along with his passing, this team is really dangerous. You see, they just took out the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference with ease in 5 games. You got to credit them, and yeah, they're back in the conference finals, man. I mean, this is a really good team. I mean, Tyree's doing his thing. Pascal Siakam's finding it. Andrew Nembhard, I love Andrew Nembhard. I mean, that guy is amazing. Miles Turner doing what he does. Aaron Nesmith has been really good. You have a good bench, even though the bench wasn't really great today. On any given night, they can have Bennett Mathurin pop off for 18, 20 points. Obi Toppin can give you 3 or 4 threes. CJ McConnell can come out and give you 15, 16, 17 points. Like, they have the bench, and this team is just, they're hitting all cylinders. They're hitting all cylinders. They're playing amazing basketball, and now they're in the conference finals, man. They're a couple wins away from being in the NBA finals. Like, this team is just really, really good right now, man. You got to give all the credit. For the Cavs, I'm going to talk about more. I think I'm going to do a video later today, or during today, where I talk about what the future looks like for the Cavs and get onto all that stuff. But obviously a really disappointing end to a season. I mean, 64 wins, number 1 team in the East. If there's any year to really do something, this was the year. And they just crumble. I mean, that's really what it was. It was a crumbling. I mean, going from losing game 1 was tough. Losing game 2 in the way you did, where you're up 20 and you find a way to lose that game at home. Game 4, you're down by 40 at one point. And then this game where you have a good lead, 19-point lead early in the first half, and you just find a way to blow another lead. And now you have to play catch up, and you're relying on Donovan Mitchell, who's literally on one ankle, having to save your season. It's just, it's really tough, man. But I'm going to get more into that when that video comes out. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, tough way, a really bad and tough way to end a season if you're the Cavs. This regular season that was just so legendary, But Indiana conference finals, we'll see. Are they going to be beating the Knicks, or will Boston make a comeback? Who knows? We got to see how the rest of the series goes. But yeah, some more really good playoff basketball today. But yeah, it's going to be it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed. Once again, if you do like the content around here, consider subscribing, liking, turn notifications, do all stuff like that. I'd really appreciate it. It really helps out a lot. Once again, we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so support around the channel would be very much appreciated. And yeah, I'll see you guys tomorrow.